Hello, it's Elizabeth Busby here, and welcome to Discerning Marriage. Today I'm taking one of your questions, which is like my favorite thing to do of all time. These are my favorite kinds of videos to make. Here's the question. Is it okay for couples to have romantic conversations before marriage? I often talk with my partner about our future together and how much we desire each other, but every now and then we find ourselves getting into conversations that are bordering on sexual. I'm not sure if this is okay or if it's inappropriate for the stage of our relationship. Could you help me find some clarity? Absolutely. You know how much I love bringing clarity to these very practical questions. So I'm going to give a little bit of background if you've never seen any of my videos before. We can't talk about any of this kind of stuff, any of these sorts of like boundary conversations without understanding the end that we're striving for. So any sort of arousal exists to lead you to climax, which exists to lead you to this intimate union between a husband and a wife. Anything that would lead you not toward that ultimate end of union between husband and wife does not uphold your dignity and is not something that you should engage in. I would say, and I think other people would agree with me, that any sort of like sexting, like talking, texting, etc., about sexual things with the goal of arousing the person, when the end goal is not a husband and wife coming together, like you're not married, you're not using it as a foreplay to bring the two of you to that end of marital union, which this couple is not. They explicitly stated before marriage. So when you are engaging in that kind of behavior that is arousing in general with the goal of arousing the person without the ability to enter into that union, I would say, yes, I would say that it's inappropriate for the stage of your relationship. And I would also ask you to take a very honest look at your heart. What is going, each of you, both of you, you and your girlfriend, what is going on in your heart as you're entering those conversations? Because I would venture to say there is that goal of arousal. I can't imagine someone getting into a conversation that is bordering on sexual that doesn't have the purpose of arousing them. Now, I could see, I don't think that's what this person is talking about, but I could be wrong. I could see a situation where you guys are practicing abstinence before marriage and you're talking about your desire to be together in a union. You're talking about your desire to give to each other and how challenging chastity is and how challenging abstinence is and all of that. If that goal is to communicate your desire, but not to arouse the person, I could see that being appropriate. But it all comes down to intention and it comes down to like the fruit of what's happening. If you're talking about like, I have such a longing for you, I have a desire to be in intimacy with you, etc., like that's probably not an arousing type of conversation. What they're talking about here, I imagine, has the goal of arousal and it should be avoided. I don't know that I really need to elaborate on that. What I'm going to say is if you find yourself in that situation, one of you is going to have to draw the boundary and say, this is arousing me, I have to stop. In fact, that is one of my favorite sentences for any person who feels called to marriage to learn. That is arousing me, we need to stop. Or that is arousing me, keep going if you're married and you're, about to consummate your marriage. But most of the time when you're talking about boundaries and chastity boundaries and abstinence boundaries and all of that, like to be able to have not only the self-awareness, but the humility to say like, that's arousing me and I have to stop. That is super important for being able to work together to uphold everyone's dignity. And before you're married, that dignity from the intimacy space is abstinence. So I hope that was helpful. If you want any clarification, leave a comment or you can direct message me on Instagram at Discerning Marriage. And if you are in a place where you are discerning marriage and you have been dating for a long time and you really want to figure out if the person that you're with is a good fit, I highly recommend our course at the Institute called Next Step. That was based on John Paul II's ideas for proximate preparation, meaning what someone should be focusing on to form them for marriage before they're even engaged. Yes, that's a real thing. And we have fleshed that out for you in our course Next Step. So I hope you check that out if that's you. I hope this somewhat short, but to the point video was beneficial. And if you have a question you want us to answer, please either leave it in the comments or send it to me on Instagram. I hope you had a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me and spending some of your time with us here on the Institute's YouTube channel. Until next time, stay close to the heart of Jesus and be not afraid. Bye.